Hey agents, thanks for clicking on my video. To the new subscribers the last few days, thanks for clicking on that button. I hope you will find some more useful information from the future stuff I'm going to put out. If you notice on my channel, I've never actually put out the healer build, so I'll show you three very briefly. One you can use for the raid and for legendary, works quite perfectly. And then I can show you another alternative for that you use on legendary modes like summit for example, and I'll show you one for that works perfect on heroic even if you're solo or group, doesn't matter. So the first one, this is the raid one. Very simple. The survivalist I'm using because of the 15% additional outgoing healing that you get. It's basically 4 pieces of future initiative, or BTSU gloves, and 1 piece Alps. You could, if you don't want to use the BTSU gloves, before I go into what I rolled on them, if you don't want to use the BTSU gloves, if you don't have them, or even if you don't have them, basically you can run a 2-piece Alps or a 2-piece Murakami to get your repairs up as well. The reason why the BTSU glove is really good on this build is because of the overcharge that you can get if you detonate your hive. If you time it perfectly, it gives you 15 seconds of a window where everyone in your whole squad will have insane amounts of damage. It lasts for 15 seconds, but that's enough to kill almost any boss. It might be a bit more difficult to use it in the raid, but you have to time it perfectly. You can actually destroy Boomer in that 15 seconds, for example in Dark Hours, if you time it correctly. So that's why the BTSU gloves are recommended, but you don't have to use them. You can, like I said, 2 Murakami or 2 Alps. The other ones, the future, you just all have your repair skills on them, as much repair skills as you can, because the 2-piece bonus is 30% repair skill, the 3-piece is skill duration and skill haste, and your 4-piece you get ground control. Ground control gives you 15% additional damage when you are at full armor, and also the close, when your allies are within 5 meters of you, you also get repaired. You get the extra repair there of 60%. Basically, that's what it says. So the important part in this build specifically is you need to have the backpack and the chest, because you get an additional benefit from that. Besides the ground control of the 4-piece, your tactical superiority is what you get on the chest. It gives you increased ground control damage bonus from 15% to 20%. So that 15% damage you get is boosted to 25%. And the repair when your allies are closer than 5 meters to you or within a 5-meter range, it gets boosted as well by the backpack. So that's why in this build it's preferable that you want to use the backpack and the chest together. The other 2 pieces, the mask and the knee pad, you can play around with, but also a repair skill. You can play around. You can shuffle the pieces around however you want. The capacitor in this instance is a no-brainer because I'm a 6 skill tier, so that's a crap load of damage that you get, additional damage that you get. I'm using the perfectly in sync here on the harmony. That's on a rifle, so that's from longer range. You could use anything else you want to, but perfectly in sync, seeing as you have the skill tiers. You're not damaging an NPC, but you're using your skill. Using a skill gives you weapon damage as well, and with the in-sync bonus there. So the meat of the repair here is the Restorer Hive. You can see that the healing is 454,000, 36 charges, and the Reinforcer, the Chem Launcher. It's a bit cumbersome to use, but it works really well. So let me just show you. The damage in here is actually important. I'm just here to show you the heal. The damage is not worth me showing you. There's nothing that great. Or I can try putting it on, just to give you an idea, I can put it on named. I'll make it maybe 15 meters. And I'll drop my hive over here, so you can see the repair on this. That's the repair, so that can keep your DPS guys alive. As long as they are within a 5-meter range of you, your DPS guys, it will be difficult for them to die, really. If the closer they are to this, to you and to your skill, the better. Like I said, the damage on here is not bad, but it's not the best damage you're gonna get. The most important thing is the heal. So let me just cancel this. Let me take away my armor here. Drop the chem. So it's really good, the repair on this one. So now I'll show you the second one that works quite fine for heroic and solo or group. If the game will allow me to change that the loadout. So that's the one I showed you just now. I'm gonna, where is that? Okay, here's the heroic. So in this one, you will notice in all my all damage red builds, I never use glass cannon or perfect glass cannon ever. But this build makes it makes me feel comfortable to use perfect glass cannon, because the damage you deal is amplified by 30%, and the damage you take is amplified by 60%. So you take a lot more damage than what you normally do, and the NPCs are quite really strong. I think they were stealth buffed again in this 12.1 patch, but that's another story altogether. So that 30%, it actually, for me, it makes up what you lose on these two pieces here. It makes up for that to me. The Providence here, the headshot damage, is not really the most beneficial here. It doesn't benefit the bow that much, but I wanted to use perfect glass cannon. And the one piece Siska here, that's for your crit hit chance for the brand set bonus. There's crit hit chance, crit hit damage, as much weapon damage as I could find. The one Grupo here is for your crit damage. There's my weapon damage. I wish there was crit chance in here, but okay, armor regen also helps, I guess. My Feather's backpack, I went there because the Feather's a brand set bonus, is assault rifle damage. The core attribute weapon damage is full. There's explosive resistance. I wish that would be crit damage as well, but it is what it is. I put the crit damage mod in there, and there I have companion. As long as I'm within 55 meters of my skill, and then I get my weapon damage, which is 15%. So that helps you out a lot in your when you're solo, when you're flying alone. It helps a lot with the damage. And using the future in this initiative, the 2-piece gives you 30% repair skills, and there I have repair skills. But in my mod slots here, you'll notice I didn't put the extra repair skills here. I put crit damage in there. And my second piece future, there's repair skills as well. On this one, there's a fixadero. The healing is 59,000, and on this restore hive is 196. So this makes me I'm comfortable with using this. Oh, let me show you the stats. On the capacitor, I have 47.2% crit chance, and there 148.6 crit damage. And on the classic M1A, it's 47% crit chance and 133 crit damage. So I want to show you the repair on this one before I show you what the numbers look like when in terms of damage. This video will be a bit longer than my other ones, but if I drop this here, let's say I get hit by an NPC, I can't hold the button in the repair because the repair isn't that quite amazing. So it's quite good, you know, if I pop up, get hit by the NPC. Let's say I get hit by the NPC, they one-shot me, I take cover, I get it back really quickly, so it's not a big deal. I'm still within my range for my companion, is still active. Let me do some shooting here with the capacitor. So I mean, it's not that bad really because the build has a 2-piece future in it, so it's not that bad for named. Let me just pick this up. Just take the drone out. Okay, let's say I pop out again. Enemy hits me, one shot. I take cover. Takes a bit longer to start, but you get the point why I'm using a double heal. I'm basically using a double heal because if I maybe drop my hive and I need to get out of dodge really fast, then at least the drone will follow me to where my next cover is, so I can destroy my hive. So it just give you extra bit of leeway. You don't have to use two heal skills, but especially on solo, it's beneficial. It works out quite fine as well for heroic if you're in a group. But now I'll show you alternative to the raid build for legendary. I use this one on legendary floors. I only changed the one piece really. So here's exactly the same build. The only thing I changed was the Alps. I made it Alps chest, and because that's 20% repair skill extra and another skill tier, and there you have your skill list, repair skills, and they have crit damage in the mod as well. On this one I use kinetic momentum. The same like on my skill DPS build, I also use kinetic momentum. But when in combat, each skill generates a stack while active or not on cooldown. Your stacks increase your skill damage and your skill repair as the stacks go on when you're lost when on cooldown. So your stacks are lost on cooldown obviously when you go out of combat, basically, then it gets lost. So there's my crit damage, repair skills, and my skill. I wish there was more skill list on there, but 10.3%, it's close enough to 12. So that's the only thing I changed on here. You can see this one, the difference here between this one and the one I just showed you. On the heroic one over here, it's a 3 skill tier, this one is a 4, so the capacitor will do a bit more damage. And the heal on here is a bit more, it's 242,000 on the Restorer Hive, and again I'm running a double heal, or the fixer that on there is 73,000. I run double heals because most of the time I play alone, unless I play Summit. I do matchmaking, but otherwise most of the time I end up being alone, so that's why I'm running a double heal to keep me alive, because I hate really having to respawn. Oh, I didn't show you the stats on this one. On the capacitor is 41.2% and 148.6 crit damage, and there you have on the classic M1 is 41.2 and 133. It's basically the same. I'm going to show you the heal on this one and a little bit of the damage. I'll do the same on this one while my stacks, there you can see kinetic momentum building up my stacks. Okay, I'll wait until the stacks are full. Okay, so I'm going to drop my restorer. Let's say enemy gets me, one-shots me, get back into cover. You see, this one is the heal on here is a lot better if I don't use perfect glass cannon. I'm holding the button in. So it's not perfect, but it's a lot. It's a lot that one skill tier makes, and the extra repair skill on the elves make a hell of a difference compared to the glass cannon version of this build. Let me just destroy that. We try the same with the fixer drone, see what it does. Enemy one shots me. Go back into cover. The fixer drone is not as good as the Restorer Hive, but at least, like I said, he can follow me around if I need to get out of danger. Then at least they can follow me around, so I can have something to keep me alive a bit longer, especially in a legendary. They hit extremely damn hard. So I'll just wait for my stacks again, and then I'll drop my restorer. I'll put this on 15 meters again, the same, so you can see what it does. Just keep my companion up, get my kinetic momentum, full stacks. Here we go. So you can see this one, the capacitor does more. Like one more shot, there we go. So you won't get the best damage, but this is basically these healer builds. It's meant to be support builds or solo builds. So you can still do a lot of this if you're alone. So that's, guys, that's the 3 healer builds I just had for you today. Like I said, a quick recap. We have the one for raid and for legendary. Works perfectly fine. You can keep your glass cannon guys around. They don't even need to use cover. They can just stand out in the open and just shoot whatever they want to. It will keep them alive. I did Operation Iron Wars with this build quite a few times. I had to play healer, so I can tell you that build works. Then I showed you the one you can use on heroic with perfect glass cannon. The heal is just enough. It's just enough so you can get to cover after being popped in the head or something. So the healing is enough here for solo play on heroic level. Then I showed you the one for legendary, which I use which I use in a team as well. This one gives you more damage than the raid one, but almost the same heal. You can play around with survivability if you maybe roll the Seska to a skill tier, or if you take the Grupo out, or if you take the Fenris out and replace it with something else, with another Alps or a Murakami or RK piece for additional incoming repair. That could also help you out incoming repairs here. But I chose repair skill. You can have on the mod stats, you can have incoming repair as well, but I chose to put crit damage there to have a bit more damage on the builds. Because like I said, most of the time I play solo, but when it comes to Summit, I prefer there being a team, because it's just more fun for me playing in a team. In Summit especially, it's more fun. Control points, I don't mind playing alone, but missions, if I'm playing solo, there's almost no loot that drops, so I prefer having, even though the missions are quite fine to do alone, I prefer there being a team as well for more loot. So that's 3 healer builds. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Thanks for tuning in, and keep sharing and subscribing and liking and stuff. Thanks, guys.